Hi everybody, welcome back. Regrowth with me, Sid, and I've been doing a bit of preparation for Tier 3 Blood Orb. So yeah, I suppose realised I got a couple of augmented capacity runes, as you'll have to excuse the clucking, as a reward, so I put those in, and our altar now has a capacity of 14,000. Now if you remember, the use for a block of gold in the Blood Orb is 25,000 life points will give me the Magician's Blood Orb. So I have chucked a whole bunch of eggs into this container, realised I'd made a slight foo up there, but we've got, I think, what we at? About 40 chickens in there, so that we should be good there. We need to get that going, and let's pop that in, so we should be able to watch this going down fairly quickly, and we should be able to keep that. Yeah, that's going pretty good. So I'm just going to keep my eye on that and kill chickens to keep it fully stocked. And if push comes to shove, of course, we've always got my own blood as well. And try and get this Tier 3 Blood Orb sorted. I may be killing them too fast, that's the only danger I'm worried about. Anything to get rid of this damn sound of clucking. There we go, we got it. So we'll have that, bind it to me. What's that orb at? Alter at? Let me pop this back in and we'll just get this one done. So yeah, this out of all the blood orbs is probably, in my opinion, the hardest to get, just because of that 25,000 life and getting that. You can't get these normally until you've got one of those. Hey, so yeah, that one can be a complete pain in the backside to get, just because of that fact. You can't get the actual blood orb until, sorry, you can't get the runes of augmented capacity until you've done the blood orb. Now we've got this, the world opens up for us a little bit. So let me put that out of the way, grab you out, and if we go and get my divination sigil, that thing still freaks me out. I keep on thinking it's a, oh, I've already got it. So we should see we've got nearly 50,000 life points. Our pull size is 150, I believe, with the with this orb, so we can go considerably higher. But that should be enough for, well, let's have a look. I think for the ritual of binding we need 50,000, so we are going to need to put more in. I also need to take this off when I'm not using it. But we can now start working towards a Tier 4 altar. So what do we need to do? Well, we're going to need some ritual stones for starter. Not ritual, ritual. So we're going to want some master ritual stones. They are made with ritual stones, obsidian and a blood orb. Ritual stones are 4 of those, and obsidian to get 4. We're going to want a ritual diviner, which is going to require some diamonds, emeralds, 1 of each of these. So we're going to need a gas tier, a magma cream, an obsidian, and a lapis block. So let me go and get that together for starters, and I will be back in. Okay, I've got a whole load of stuff. So the first thing we are going to need is to make these chalk things. So we're going to take one of the, probably need to do this as well a little bit. Hang on, 4, 5. Should have checked my life points before we did that. Yeah, so we've got, that's the blue. Now let me stick in the magma cream and stab myself into pinky a little bit, just to keep that topped off. There's a red. I need 1 obsidian. Thank you for being helpful, but that wasn't. Obsidian. What was the other one? I sure I picked it up. I'm sure I did. Oh, lapis there. Looking right at it. Now this is really, really useful, this particular thing. You don't actually need it. But for me, doing blood magic rituals without this would just be painful, and ergo I don't want to do it. So we need 4 obsidian. No. It's not obsidian in this one. We need 4 diamonds, an emerald, and then it's cyan, blue. I think I might even be shapeless at this point, but that's your ritual diviner. Now this thing is really useful because if you look at it at the moment, it's doing cannot be used to place dusk runes. There's an upgrade for it, and press shift for extended information. So current owner is me, and if I press shift, it'll get Ritual of the Full Spring, Serenade in the Nether, Regrowth, Interdiction, Containment. Ritual of Binding is the one we actually want. Then we press on that and it tells us we're going to need 24 stones. So 8, 12, 16, 24. We actually need 28 ritual stones because we need 1 for the Master Ritual Stone as well. So those are blank slates. I did a whole buttload of blank slates, so let us get those in for starters. And then we'll split this like a so. We'll stick you in there and we'll go 28 I said, didn't I? That'll do us for now. And then I think we use 4 of those and 4 of those to get the master. So we're pretty good at this point. We also need a weak activation crystal. To do that, we're going to need a lava crystal. So we're going to need to pull some stuff together for that, and I need desperately to clean my inventory because it is a mess. So let me get the stuff together for the lava crystal as opposed to the magma crystal. I learned the other day what the difference between lava and magma was, which was interesting to me because, you know, well, if you know me, if you watch me, you know I'm fascinated by words anyway. But basically, magma and lava are identical in every respect except for their geographic location. Magma is under the earth, lava is above it. So yeah, fascinating fact from Sid Day. Let me write you can go, that can go in there, that can go in there for now, that can go in there. I'll keep that one on because it's useful, keep that, and that looks a little bit better. Right, now we can make the lava crystal. So I'm going to grab the stuff we need for that, and I will be right back. Okay. We've got everything we need to make the weak lava crystal, so that goes straight into the blood altar. Let me just double check the use of that, apart from new stuff that I haven't seen. Soul transferer, lava sigil, but we need 10,000 life points and it has 11,000, so we're good. So yeah, cook this up. And then I just need to make sure that I have got, I can't remember whether it's 50,000 for the ritual binding or not. So I'm going to play it safe and ensure that I have got 50,000 life points. Just to be on the safe side, because the last thing I want to do is kill myself by trying to so we get that beastie. Activate a ritual that I don't have the life for, and that's going to be fairly straightforward. We'll just fill that up and we'll stick our orb in there, and if we somewhere in there I've got my divination sigil, so yeah, that little thing, if you just look at the left hand side of the screen, that little blood meter is an absolute lifesaver. That's well, it's relatively new. I don't remember it. I think it was probably there on Tolkiencraft, but probably not on earlier episodes of where I've played with blood magic. So yeah, anyway, we got 50,000, so that's all good. We'll pop our bauble off. Now what we need to do next is run down. We need to get a diamond sword for starters. Dun, dun. And let us get ourselves a bound sword sorted, because that will be nope, that's not what I wanted. That will be what we're after, a bit of a bound sword. Right, so that is set to the ritual of binding. That's good. So we got that. What we need to do is go and find a spot for this. Oh, and I need some water buckets. You don't need water buckets to do this, but from past experience, the ritual of binding, because it kind of brings down lightning, sets a lot of things on fire, and you don't really want that when you've got things, you know, yeah. Oops, not that. That, and then if I dig out, let me just dig out 3 in all directions. I can never remember how big this ritual is, so better to get it extra space than, and then fill it back in and let the grass grow back, than it is to faff around with the old thingy. So ritual, bang. Oh, we're doing, oh, it's doing it automatic. This is new. Never used to do that. Ah, I like that. I like it a lot. So what we'll do is we'll just fill in around the edges here. I'll probably prettify the underside later, but that will do. As I say, get some nice stone or something to go in there. But for the time being, I am just going to fill this with water, and the world should be a good and happy place. And then one on the top. That's, again, this is not essential. This is just what I find to be the, you feel a pull but you're too weak to push any further. Well, I'm sure I should have 52,000 LP, low level rituals. I'm certain we should be there. We've got the magicians. Oh, bind it now. Rush of energy flows through the ritual, and bang. Oh, missed it. The only problem with this is, of course, getting it on the thing. Certainly you do not want to be standing there when you swining thing. Hup. No, what's going on here? Something is not quite right. Oh, that was too far that time. Do I need to block the top? Ah. Interesting. Let's just have a look at bound sword, shall we? Oh, it wants an Elementium sword. Oh, of course, typical. Right, in which case, let's get that. Let me just check that that's not doing anything untoward. Only used 5,000. I wonder how long that will just keep running for. I should have known to check. Because obviously Regrowth gates everything behind the other mods. It wouldn't be something as simple as a diamond sword. It would be, of course, an Elementium sword. And I'm out of iron. I can't believe that. Annoying. Do I have any down here? I do. That's perfect. 2 of those. I'm going to need some living wood twig. Oh, it's raining. Perfect. Right. The only problem with the regeneration thing is it is draining my mana quite drastically. Need my magic bag. Let's undo this. Oh, crap. Get that going. We're going to chuck in those. And right, I need a living wood twig, I think, for that. So, quick crafting bench job. Let's get this thing done. All right. Oh, it's a dream wood. Damn it. Not a problem. See, this is why I like to prepare for things. Because then you don't get any unpleasant surprises like this. Now, the ritual is fortunately still running, so, and obviously it's already thundering, so... And there we go. One bound blade. My god, it's a bit noisy. So next thing we need to do is probably let's put some of this stuff away for now and put on our flugel tiara, and we're going to go and kill some things with this sword. Come on then. Okay, I think we got one there. Oh, just bear with me a second. Okay, sorry about that. Turns out dinner was ready. Come here, spider. I want your blood. Oh, got 2. We wouldn't have got one from him. You have to get him. I don't know whether you saw just then when I hit the spider, he got some particles. And they are indication that he's got a debuff, the blood draining, blood magic-y debuff, which gives you these, so that anything that's got that kill has got a chance. Oh, I better turn you off as well. This thing drains life all the time it's running, so you don't want to leave it running. Not unless you want to die. So let's just go and have a look at what we do with this. And what we want from this one is... oh, the stone's up there. Okay, good. So we can go and swoosh up here, take a stone and one of those blood shards, and bang, we'll need the other one, because the other use for that is 40,000 life points in a tier 4 altar to get the Master Blood Orb. Now these are going to be going, are going to be going on here. So we should, I think that should, let me just check that's lit as well. It is, good. Hup. So we'll whack those on here and the world will be a good and happy place. And then the only thing that really remains to do to bring this up to a tier 4 blood altar is to fill out the tier 4 track with blood runes. Now I think I am going to use augmented capacity. So they are, but that, oh, are they? Oh, they're expensive on buckets though. I better go and harvest some iron before I do that. But if we can get some of these going, so we can get it so we don't have to worry about, we can fill it easily to that point, then we need to do imbued slates, which you do with reinforced slate in the altar for 5,000. We should have some reinforced slates left. Let me dump off my blood magic stuff in here temporarily. In fact, I'm going to go and clear my inventory, sort out some iron harvesting, and I will be back again in. Okay, we're about to complete our tier 4 altar. I've got all the buckets. Oops, let's plug my mouse down there. Got the slates. 12. Oh, I ran out of stone. I was like, what? But no, it was just stone. Just the stone we were shy on. No panics. So 12 runes of augmented capacity. So we'll quickly place these in. That should bring us up to a tier 4 altar. And now at this point, we could just get the teleposition focus and have done with until the blood magic quest lines request more stuff. But for me, I think we should at least try to, at this stage, get a tier 4 orb. The not the master, what is it? The Master Blood Orb, that's the one, which is tier 4 with a weak blood shard. So we've got a tier 4 alt. You can see that's draining down. I think that's to do with the fact that there is a buffer, a very slight buffer beneath this level, which is what the system draws out of when you pipe the stuff in and out. There's certainly no effects running at the moment that would cause that. So, but we can certainly start with the old finger stabbing and get that up. Now eventually that will stop draining. As I say, it's just this, I think that's the best way of describing it, as a buffer. Total capacity of 62,000, so yeah, we got more than enough, and I think we can probably concentrate our efforts on some other runes, for maybe speed runes, something like that. I don't know exactly. Still having a little bit of a drain, so I have to get that buffer zone catch up. But we'll be at 40,000 life before we know it, and as I say, that will stabilise. It will stop draining at 20 per tick. There's nothing at all running blood magic wise. 43. I'm going to try and fill it actually. Why not? While I'm my mana pool is full, because I've set the mana train going again. Come on, stabilise. Yeah. not far at all to go. So, I wish it would make its mind up. It's definitely taking its time to fill that buffer zone. 6. Oh, come on. That should be enough for now. I'll just regen my health while that settles. Come on, settle, petal. Are we there? No, still draining a little bit. But it does not matter because we have more than an adequate amount to grab a Demon Blood Shard, or Weak Blood Shard I should say. Demon Blood Shard is the next one. Pop it in there and let it do its thing. That's going to drain really quickly now, and that will take us to the tier 4. So yeah, the next thing I think we need to concentrate on is teleposition focusers, teleposers, and a Well of Suffering. Just so I'm not having to sit here poking myself in the finger with, even though it's a lot easier with this this fancy knife. Definitely a Well of Suffering is in order, and that requires, well, for starters, it requires, if we can get their Well of Suffering, it requires some dusk stones. This one can't place dusk stones, so we do need to get the upgraded version of this, which if we look at the uses for that, demonic slates and elemental, which is block of coal, to upgrade this. That will give us the ability, there we go. Let's attune this to ourselves, and while we're doing that we'll plop that in there. We might as well drain this totally and get our life points back up. Yeah, so I think on that note that's probably a good point to end. I realised last episode we didn't play with this. We did the thing, and obviously because we've got like the Fugal Tiara, the jetpack, we haven't got the what was it described as, flying like a drunken butterfly or something along those lines. But that's basically you right click up in the air and then down, and as long as you're clicking and you're pointing downwards you won't take full damage. However, you will if you don't do that. So that's pretty crucial. What's the illumination like out here anyway? Oh, we've got an issue there. Alright, pop that on top for now. We'll sort this out. I think I'm going to use this area as my ritual area. I didn't really have any solid plans for it, so. But that, I mean, it's not a bad early flight mechanism, to be honest, and it doesn't consume a lot to get you around. It's probably quicker than any of the other methods of flight. Can hurt a bit if you're not careful. But yeah, it's not bad. We did it. I don't think that's any. I better double check our quest book, but I'm fairly certain there will be no quest completed because the way the world bleeds has not unlocked any of the stuff. We'll probably unlock a whole load of stuff from the way the world bleeds once we get the skill points unlocked. But yeah, on that note, I think we're going to call it a day. Next episode we will aim to do the Well of Suffering and the teleposition focusers, and then we can start to get into a bit of node bullying, you know, move some nodes around, get that sorted so the subsequent Thorncraft work is considerably easier. One other thing that I'm thinking about doing is I want to find a slime chunk if I can. I believe that there is one out there somewhere. And the reason for that is there's quite a big debacle going on about the passive flower generation debate on Reddit and stuff, and the latest version of Britannia has had the I'm going to turn these off for a moment, has had the passive configuration option completely removed. You can now not turn off passive decay at all. It's not an option. And of course that's ruffled quite a lot of jimmies. I mean, you know, on the Mage Dark Ages server we've had quite a few jimmies rustled over the fact that I won't turn the passive decay off. And you know, for me to sit here and go, I don't like the fact that this is turned off, is kind of difficult to say from position without actually having a go at using an alternative method of mana gen. Now, one I have never used is the Narslimus, or Narslimus, which uses the spawning of slimes to power itself. So if there is a slime chunk out there, I'd like to try and build a slime farm that actually generates mana for me. And if I can get that going, then I will be a happy bunny. And I think, I'm not sure whether it's in this version or not. Let me just check. There is a device added. If I just gotta find it. As I say, if it is in this version, not mana weave cloth, I think it must be in this version because there's, yes, this one, slime in a bottle. Elementium, a slime ball, and some elf glass will make you a slime in a bottle, and you can basically, it's a little slime chunk detector, so as you walk around it will start jumping for some odd reason, i.e. there's a slime chunk there. So if you could find one of those, then I could have a go at doing a Narslimus generation and see how that works in, say, comparison to hydrangeas and stuff. Now, a lot of the debate is over the general inefficiency of hydrangeas compared to, say, ender flames. And I don't think anybody would dispute that. You know, I know an ender flame will produce a lot more mana, but sometimes, like if you take my little house down there, I've got 2 hydrangeas powering a mana pool which powers my exaflame which runs the furnaces. It doesn't need to be any more complicated. I don't need fancy mana shifting technology and stuff. It just needs a really basic mana gen just to provide that one simple function. And you know, with the current config settings, I can't do that. This is my area of concern, if you like, is that yes, you know, there are better ways. Yeah, it's entirely Vasky's choice as to how she decides to implement this, but you know, there are times where you just want some, I don't know, nightshades to generate and some day blooms and just generate a small amount of mana to run a very small application in the background, and you can't do that with decay on because that's not an option. So then you're into, you know, having to feed things charcoal and stuff, which is a pain in the bum. If you don't want that, I've got no problems for your main manager generation. It's it can be as complicated as you like, and I've done some complicated ones. I've done cakey farms, I've done Gorgomaralis generation. You know, we've done them all. Or well, I haven't done the coloured wool one or the slime one. But yeah, that's it. So anyway, enough ranting from me. You know, if you want more ranting on this subject, just have a look at the Reddit forums. But until next time, thank you very much, guys, and I will see you soon.